Welcome to the tutorial for Zenerate Modular. In this tutorial, we'll take you on a journey to the Zenerate Modular, which generates modular multifamily housing design in real time, right at your fingertips. I'm going to go over the following sections. Please feel free to skip around as you wish, using the timeline provided in the comments section. First, let's start by creating a new project. Once you log in, you will be taken to this project lists page. At the top right, click on Create New Project, and you'll be ready to find a site. By using your mouse wheel, you can simply zoom in and zoom out, and click and drag, or simply type in any address you'd like. And Zenerate will instantly take you there. If you want a satellite view, click the map in the bottom left corner and switch to satellite mode. It'll help you have a more precise view of the parcel lines. Okay, now we have to define the boundaries. Click Draw Site Boundaries, and all you have to do is a few simple clicks. Each click generates a dot, and it'll lead to a boundary line. And try holding down the Shift key and moving your mouse around. You can effortlessly adjust angles in increments of 15 degrees. Okay, now I'll finish drawing the boundaries. To close off the boundary, you can right-click, or move back to the first dot and left-click at the first dot. And if you already have DXF files, which is widely used for CAD, find this Upload DXF Files button. Click on it, select your file. Set units and layers. I'll go for lot line this time, but choose whatever suits you best. And just like that, I brought a CAD file into Zenerate. Lastly, you can move the site geometry around anywhere on the map. And with this arrow button at the top left corner of the boundary, you can also easily rotate the boundary. Alright, let us move on to the next step by clicking Next. And now we're here on Regulation Inputs. In this section, we're going to set various zoning regulation related inputs. First part is to select street sides. This lets you visualize your project within the context of its surroundings, while also allowing our engine to automatically place parking entrances on the appropriate street sides. Go ahead and click Continue. And now, setbacks. You can choose to apply a uniform setback to all sides by entering a value here, and clicking Apply to all edges. You can also enter individual values for each side. If you wish to set a residential setback, click here and enter the value. Okay, lastly, we have a height limit. By default, leaving the height limit section blank is automatically interpreted as an unlimited height allowance. But if your project does have height restrictions, just unselect the Unlimited button and enter the appropriate value. Now that it looks good, press Next. Alright, next up is module selection. In this section, you will be selecting the module types to be used in your building. You can either choose one of the presets we provide, or create your own custom modules. Let me walk you through how to input your own module. Let's go ahead and click on Add Module Type. So first, let's set up a module. We offer 4 basic module types: Room Corridor Room, Room Corridor, Room Half Corridor, and Room Only. You have the freedom to customize module sizes to your liking, but to maintain optimal proportions, please notice that module width must be between 8 and 16 feet, while depth should fall within the range of 20 to 40 feet. If you input module sizes outside these ranges, you will see a red warning sign. Here, the term Parable Module simply refers to the possible module types that can be utilized together with the main module to fill in the building corners. For the Parable Module type, you can choose between Room Corridor, Room Only, and None, but we highly recommend you to go for either Room Corridor or Room Only because it allows for a more flexible and diverse massing type options. Let's get back to the point. If you are thinking of creating a building with 40 square feet studio units, enter 16 and 25 for this module to be used as a studio unit. If you wish to create a more diverse module library, simply click Add Module. Here, you can create modules that can be used for the different unit types you want to include in your building. If you wish to include 600 square feet one-bed unit types in your building, create a module that is 12 by 25. These modules will have 300 square feet in area, so you can use 2 of these modules to create a 1-bed unit in the next step. Press Next. Now time for setting up your custom unit types. As I mentioned just now, I want to make this 16 by 25 single module into a studio. I'll type in Studio and select 16 by 55. And like I said before, I want more units other than just a studio. I also want 1 bedroom. To add a new unit, click Add Unit Type and rename it to 1 bed. And press Save. Select the module you want to use in this unit type. In our case, our 1 bed unit uses 2 modules. Click Add Module and select the appropriate module to be added. Although, this time, I used the second module that I just created. Any module in the current module library could be selected. I'll do the same for the third unit. Add Unit. Rename to 2 bed and save. Add Module. Select the right ones. And press Next. Here, you can double-check your unit types, their names, number of modules, and gross area. On the far right, clicking on Add will add new detail columns. We currently offer glazing area inputs per unit. If you enter the glazing area or the window size, glazing area and skin area statistics will be included in the final solution reports. More features will be available in this section in the next coming updates. Alright, let's hit Save and name it to Custom 1. Here at the bottom of the module list, the custom set that I just made pops up. Click Next. Last but definitely not least, Design Inputs. Here, we have largely 2 parts, the canvas on the left and the panel on the right. There are 2 modes available for design inputs. You can create solutions under the Auto mode, in which our engine will automatically create single building solutions that best suit your site. On Auto mode, you will largely be dealing with the inputs in the right panel, with minimal use of the canvas. You will largely be using the canvas in Custom mode. The canvas will be where you can play around with your site design, including building footprints, building orientation, driveways, and surface parking. These components will be covered in more detail in a moment. For now, let's go through the steps for Auto mode. Among the various features we offer in Auto mode, you mainly deal with a podium and a single residential building. To enable podium parking, simply toggle the podium option to Yes and specify these parameters such as parking level, floor-to-floor height, driveway widths, and stall dimensions. If podium parking is not desired, leave the setting untouched and proceed with your design without these specifications. So, for generating multiple solutions with optimized single building layouts, the easiest and quickest way here is to keep the massing types on Auto and let the engine do its magic. Our users often run projects on Auto when they don't have specific requirements just yet and want to see what's possible very quickly. Let me show you. Click Generate and feel free to rename it as you want and save. So it'll take about a minute or less depending on the size of your parcel or your internet connection. Generally, the first solution you'll see is an I-shaped massing, but if you just give our engine a few more seconds to generate more solutions, you will definitely have more than one optimized solution in the end. Now you can see that solutions are being generated. Behind the scenes, our engine uses various massing schemes and tries to maximize FAR, or density. Okay, we have more and more solutions popping up. Let me quickly explain how our solutions are structured. First of all, each solution is organized into a card format. On each card, you can see the solution name with select details like the number of units and stories, and key KPIs below. And here you'll also find unit mix ratios and unit counts. And below you'll be able to check the details of each solution such as FAR, unit count, parking count, efficiency ratio, etc. If you need to review the initial settings of this project, click on View Input to display all the input values. And at the very bottom of each solution card, you'll see this CL Details button. Inside the CL Details, we provide detailed information on a solution. Here, you'll find the General tab where you can check all the general details of the solution, including FAR, stories, heights, parking count, gross floor area, efficiency ratio, and unit count. If you navigate to the Module tab, you'll see the general overview of the module use of the building from the first floor to the top floor. In Area Breakdown, you'll see the Building Use Breakdown. Use this section to ensure the unit mix meets your requirements. Now, let's move on to 3D/floor plan. In 3D view, right-click on your building and drag to navigate around. Take a careful look at the left side, right side, and the top. You can zoom in and out by scrolling. Or are you looking for a more realistic view? Simply switch the map to satellite mode. On the bottom right corner of the map, you have more options to adjust your view. Change the opacity of surrounding buildings. For a more focused 3D view, let's go to Floor Plan and take a closer look. If you notice anything that needs small adjustments, simply click on Edit Solution to quickly modify your driveway, parking, and residential building layouts without the hassle of going back to the Design Inputs page to edit the entire design. We will discuss edit solutions in much more detail later in the video. You can also switch between floors using this drop-down menu and view their modular diagrams or facade diagrams. Alright, I really like this solution and want to download it. To do so, I will simply navigate to the Export button here and click. You'll be presented with 4 download options: PDF, Excel, CAD, and Revit. Let's begin by downloading the PDF, the most basic format. Here you'll find the option to download report, providing you with a comprehensive feasibility report in PDF form, containing all the pertinent information from the solution card. Next, let's explore the Revit Export option. Once the Revit export process initiates, you'll receive a notification. In just a few minutes, you'll receive an email containing your Revit file. Click on the link in your email, and your Revit file will download automatically. Simply open up the Revit file to view a full model, like this. Alright, so back in the Solutions page, I see that our engine has generated 46 solutions for you, which can be quite a lot to navigate through. To help you go through these solutions more efficiently, we offer several organizational functions as well. First, you can rename the title of any solution card by hovering over. You can also like solutions and leave a comment for future reference. Plus, we've made it super easy to collaborate with your team. Just tag your team member, I'll tag Joan, and say, hey, what do you think about this? And she'll get a notification instantly. Or, you can send a link to the solution directly to your team. Just click share and the link to the solution will automatically be copied so you can share it with whoever has access. For those who do not have access, you can assign them view-only accounts and share the solution then. To assign them, go back to Project List and find Manage Account. Click on External Accounts and then Add Account. Enter their information. And click Add Account. You have now successfully created an external account to your project. Next, click on Edit Access of the project you'd like to share, and add the account of the person who you'd like to share with. With that, the process is complete. Let's return to the solution page to explore more. We offer a few more ways to organize your solutions page. You can simply sort them by newest, oldest, or the one with the highest density, FAR, stories, or GFA. Alternatively, you can use our filters to narrow down your options more specifically. For example, if you filter them by like, you will only see the solutions that were liked. You can also filter them by the solution creators. Additionally, we provide more filter options so that you can enter values for FAR, unit count, stories, and GFA. Want to compare solutions? Click on Compare, select 2 or more solutions, and click on Compare 2 solutions. This will help you choose the best option among the selected. Now, let me exit Compare mode and show to the Delete function. If you find some solutions to be bothersome and not so useful, click on Delete. Tick the checkbox. Press Delete. And confirm with Delete again. Now your solutions page looks nice and clean. We also offer financial settings to help our users with managing budget allocations and optimizing financial strategies for projects. To effectively set your financial goals, ensure you've completed designing your buildings and parking lots. Then have your solutions page ready. Navigate to the top right corner of the screen and locate the Financial Setting tab. It's crucial to note that each tab will impact the information displayed at the bottom of the solutions. Let's delve into each financial analysis method. To begin setting your financial goals, you'll first need to input the anticipated values per unit for NOI. You have the option to set these values either by unit or per GFA. If your project includes additional buildings other than their residential usage, such as office or retail spaces, you can enter those details here. These inputs will impact your projected value accordingly. If there are additional income sources or expenses related to the parcel, input them here. In a similar manner, enter the construction cost either by unit or per GFA. Since it's more common to calculate the construction cost per GFA, I'll choose this. Also, input the cost for commercial, parking, and lastly, site. Once you're finished, simply click on Done. After a few seconds, voila! The engine will calculate the estimated NOI, construction cost, cost per module, and cost per unit for your project. You can view the details here in the See All Details tab located at the bottom of each card. Next, let's discuss yield and cost and profit margin. This metric helps investors evaluate the efficiency of their investment in a project, as it indicates the annual return they can expect based on the initial construction cost. The NOI tab will automatically align with the values you've provided, ensuring you don't have to re-enter the same information again. In the Project Cost tab, simply enter the cost incurred when purchasing the land. Once you've entered the acquisition cost, scroll down, and you'll have the option to input soft costs, financing costs, and any other associated expenses. The other values in this section will also be auto-filled based on the information you've inputted, but you have the flexibility to make changes as needed. In the Return Metrics section, you can adjust your estimated cap rate, set return threshold, and also fill in the cost of sale to better align with your investment strategy and objectives. Lastly, utilize this residual value calculation function when evaluating a parcel of land without comparable properties nearby. Enter the NOI, project cost, then specify your desired profit margin in the Return Metrics section. The residual land value method will compute the maximum amount developers can pay for land while achieving their desired profit margin. This approach guarantees accurate determination of land acquisition costs to effectively meet profit goals. Let's move on to the next feature. And at the top right, you can also find this Generate More button. This button allows you to generate more solutions on the same site by tweaking all other inputs except for the site boundary. So let's try Generate More, and for the purpose of this tutorial, I will keep all other inputs the same and go into Design Inputs to show you how the custom design mode works. Okay, so we can go back into Design Inputs by clicking Edit next to Design Inputs here. And we're back into Design Inputs. So from the list of AI solutions that you just observed, you might have gained some ideas on how to better utilize your land. In custom mode, you can take those insights and test them out immediately on our platform. Let's start with SiteWorks. Click on SiteWorks and then Driveway. A small pop-up will appear, allowing you to customize the driveway width, stall width, and stall depth. Let's say I want my driveway along the edges of the parcel lines. Click. If some parking stalls are not shown, it's because they are outside the site boundary or bumped into your building. To fix this, click on the dot and drag it slightly into the site. Now you'll see your driveway with parking spaces on both sides. Okay, now we have our driveways and they are curved, which sometimes is not what we want. In which case, you can edit driveway corners in what we call corner rounding. Let me click SiteWorks and Driveway again. You have the flexibility to toggle on or off corner rounding on all corners with a simple click. Rounded and unrounded. For even greater precision and control, you can manually adjust the corner rounding for each individual corners by clicking Edit Corner Rounding and clicking the check marks on and off. Don't forget to click on Done once you're finished. If you want a more automated method, try our Edge Driveway function. Before I show you, let me delete the driveway we created first. Simply right-click it and select Delete. Now, click on Site Works again, then Driveway. Do you see the option for Generate Edge Driveway? With just one click, you'll have your surface parking spaces beautifully allocated along the parcel edge. After clicking on Done, you can once again freely edit your driveway by utilizing the white dots on the corners. Additionally, feel free to add more driveways as needed. In the top right corner, you can easily view the parking stall count and see how many cars the parking lot can accommodate. And keep in mind that when you round the edges, you lose some parking stalls. If you prefer podium parking over surface parking, here is where you will find it. Simply toggle the podium parking option to Yes. You can then set the number of parking levels you desire. Let's set it to be 1-to-1. You can also adjust the floor-to-floor height. I will change it to 15 feet. You can also adjust driveway width, as well as the stall width and depth to your liking. Let's move on to adding customized residential buildings. Here you can set up FAR, number of units and floors, and floor-to-floor height according to your preferences. If you opt for the massing types to be auto, the engine will intelligently mix the types with flexibility, as demonstrated earlier. However, you can always customize the massing types as well to suit any specific requirements you have in mind. Since we've already seen how it looks in auto mode, let's switch to custom mode and explore how the parcel will appear when you customize it with your own design. Please note that inputting multiple buildings is only possible under custom mode. Now, you have your bar-type building with podium parking. Let's move the building slightly outside the blue-colored area. This blue area represents your podium. Notice how your building material changes to red. This indicates that your building has now moved out of the podium parking site, and you won't be able to generate solutions like this. To correct this, simply move your building back into the podium footprint area, and your building will get its pretty sky blue color back again. If you've moved the building already but want it to perfectly align with your podium again, we recommend turning off the podium parking option and then turning it back on. This action will help ensure that the podium and building structure align properly. For your podium parking, you can adjust the length by clicking on the dot and dragging it around. Let's make this spot a little bigger. If you want to fine-tune the shape, click on the blue dots to divide the line, allowing you to create whatever shape you desire. Remember to use the white dots to adjust the size and the blue dots for dividing purposes only. Now, let's proceed to the residential building. You currently have the bar-type building A situated on your podium. You can adjust the length of the structure by clicking on the white dots or inputting specific values in the designated box. For example, I'll input 80 feet. To rotate the structure, simply right-click your mouse. Select residential because we're going to target the residential building rather than the podium parking. Then choose rotate. You can utilize this to make the necessary adjustments. Next, I'll add another residential building structure to the same podium parking area. Scroll down and click Add Residential, and you'll notice both buildings turn red, indicating that there's an error. Let me correct this by readjusting their positions to ensure compliance. Do you observe the proximity between these two structures? To mitigate this, I want to make the building into a single loaded corridor. By selecting the red line in the middle of the structure, I'll activate this feature. Following confirmation, the corridor will now be single loaded. I'll then proceed to remove rooms on the other side of this building using the same method. To add more buildings, click on Add tab, located at the top of the right panel. let's add another bar-type residential building, applying the same logic as before to create a custom building footprint and make our building D. So far, I've kept the unit mix as auto, but you can also customize this by percentage if desired, like 50, 30, 20. Now, let's move on to detailed settings. Here, you can adjust various parameters such as the number of elevators, dead ends, travel distance to a staircase, courtyard depth, and core configuration to either off-module or on-module grid. Additionally, you can specify the number of electrical rooms, laundry rooms, bike parking spaces, amenities, and facilities. It's important to note that since these detailed settings were applied only to Building D, you should also set details for Building A if you want uniformity across both structures. For the uniform unit stacking option here, we recommend checking transfer is acceptable for more varied results. If you choose yes for this option, only modules of the same size will be stacked vertically. When done, make sure to click on Apply. We also provide you the option to add additional building types other than residential. Click on Add on the panel again. And here you can create a parking structure or a non-residential standalone building. This time, let's add the standalone building. Let me resize it a little bit. And you can also rotate it if you want to by right-clicking it. Now it looks beautiful. Set the lowest floor to B1. For usage, select Office. Set the number of levels to 5. Also, enter the floor-to-floor height here and the required parking space if you have one. You might want to use individual floors for different purposes. Try Add Use. For use type, let's say amenity. Now you're using the 5th floor of the building for amenity use. Alright, so it looks like our custom site design is done. Let's hit Generate and see what the engine gives us. Okay, we have our first multiple building solution. Just like the solutions from Auto Mode, you can see the overview information in the solution card. And if you click on See All Details, you see all these information for a multiple building solution as well. And now, let's move to 3D/Floor Plan tab. I'm really excited to show you the Edit Solutions feature. Alright, so we are finally in Edit Solutions, and here you can again edit the driveway or click Site Work and Driveway to create more as you did earlier. You can also move and rotate the building using a right-click. I'll just delete the new driveway I've just created because it doesn't make any sense. For the podium, the Zenerate modular feature offers enhanced flexibility for layout adjustments. Just right-click on the podium and select Edit Layout. From there, you can make refinements with a white dot, such as shortening or elongating the driveway. It's important to note that modifying the layout may result in some parking stalls becoming unavailable due to spatial constraints. Here is the small box with 2 arrows in it, and it indicates the entrance for the parking lot. You have the freedom to relocate this entrance, but it's crucial to ensure its placement is practical and feasible. For instance, positioning it directly adjacent to a parking stall would not be sensible from a design perspective. To create a driveway connected in and out of the building, simply draw a path from the entrance to the driveway outside. Then, I'll uncheck them to only add the pathway, not the parking stalls. To showcase our ramp customization feature, let me switch the floor map. For a 2-story parking podium, it's essential to have a ramp for accessing the different floors. Here inside the podium, you'll notice a box with a triangle in it, representing the ramp. Right-click on the ramp element, then choose Move on Driveway to position the ramp along the driveway, and even flip it, if necessary. Now let's edit our podium usage. Here, click on Add. Instead of choosing Drive Aisle, select Other Use and add Office. Now you can allocate an area on the podium as office. Assigning a portion of the podium to office will impact the detailed report of the solution. I'll show you. Let me save this. And these adjustments will also have an impact on the financial report displayed at the bottom of the solution card. If you go to the details and click on area breakdown, you'll find more square feet allocated to office area. Now, let's edit the module use. Instead of the podium, I'll right-click on the building and then select Edit Layout. Among the many different edit features we have, let's begin with the core edits. First, let's try and move the core. Here, you can move the core to a desired location and adjust the placement of the modules as well. However, please note that moving cores won't work if the module sizes don't match. Therefore, ensure that you place the core modules where the module sizes match. While changing the modules around, an excessive amount of space is allocated to facility areas. I'll change it to a 1-bed instead of facility use and move it around. You can always detach modules as well. Now let's edit core detail. Right-click on a core and select Edit Cores. Choose the number of elevators, stairs, and trash chutes. You can adjust it to fit the module depth. And checking inside corner will optimize the layout of the core for inside corner locations. When the core's location moves on one floor, cores on other floors will automatically align. However, there's a possibility that the core will overlap with the drive aisle on the podium level. In such cases, just regenerate parking as prompted from the error messages in the error log, or simply click Regenerate All Errors. Our engine will then automatically regenerate the parking floors to accommodate the edited core layout. Now let's proceed to changing the floor plan. By default, your typical floor plans are labeled in the formats like Residential A and Residential B and sometimes C for residential floors. Editing the floor plan of Residential C, which spans from the 3rd floor to the 5th floor, will change the layouts for all floors with a Residential C floor plan simultaneously. However, if you wish for the layouts of the 3rd and 4th floors to be the same and plan differently for the 5th floor, you can go into Settings, select Add New, and add a new floor plan, Residential D. Then change the 5th floor to Residential D. Make any changes to the floor plan Residential D if you'd like. The changes will be applied to 5th floors. This allows you to plan 3 different layout types for the building. If you click anywhere outside the area that you're editing, you'll return to the individual floor plan view. If you are done editing, click Save to save your changes in the same solution, or Save As if you want to save it to another copy. And voila! You have a multiple building, customized design solution for your site. Thank you for choosing Zenerate. We pride ourselves on simplicity and user-friendliness, ensuring a seamless experience for all our users. If you have any additional questions, do not hesitate to contact us anytime. Hope you have a great day.